Howdy, everyone. It's Barb. And guess what? I've been having all kinds of adventures here this morning, and I am surprised that I was even able to go live. Again, we're chatting with ChatGPT and going over our daily habits. And as you all know, if you've been following me for any length of time, that I missed one day already. So today, I've already done one before this one. I'm not saying it makes up for the other, but I'm going to keep at it. If you come short of your goal, just keep going. It doesn't take much to get, and when you fall off the bike, to jump back on and roll along. So this morning on my adventures on Facebook, you wouldn't believe what happened, but I have two laptops here, and I have two uh, smartphones. One is an iPhone, the other is a Samsung. And I was one of the very earliest live streamers on Facebook, believe it or not. Up my resort property up in Central Oregon, I actually had the vice president of live for Facebook and the vice president of live for LinkedIn. They had properties on the same street as mine, and they lived up the street, and so it was lots of fun actually going out on my walks and in the at the resort to chit chat with them on about technology and where we were going. And I was just so excited that we would be able to go live, share our stories on these social media platforms, particularly Facebook, and people could stay connected so much faster and easier than ever before, because these platforms were actually accepting the option of going live. And now we've come forward all this time, and we're almost being penalized to go live, it seems. They want all of our lives to appear as stories and reels, and they also don't want to leave them on for more than 30 days. They found out, that's data, and they have to have a place to store that. And if you've ever followed the news at all, there are data centers all over the world. And I mean, it's a real challenge to keep the information stored. And what I'm doing with you today, as I'm just talking, it's like I imagine myself in my closet talking to a stuffed animal, believe it or not. And right now I don't have my camera turned on, but as I turn it on here, you see, what is that in there? And when I quickly change my background scene, you can see that it is three of my plushies, and they're on my table that's just to the side of my desk. So it's, I don't believe that anybody can go live and not tell a story, not share, a story. And I always thought it'd be fascinating to really get to know our friends, our followers better if we were able to do it, what I refer to and have referred to forever as real time. So I'm actually here in the StreamYard studio. This is a dedicated studio so that every week the same destination people go to, they can join me from that, and you will find that link to the studio in a private group you can join, my Barbie Live behind the scenes group on Facebook. Today, I am planning on actually showing you inside of my Facebook account in where the groups that I belong to, because on Fridays, typically it's the lightest day of activity on, personally, I believe on every platform I've found online. It is the one day people are getting ready for the weekends, and early morning, I am in the mountain time zone and had a great majority of friends in the Eastern time zone. I'm fortunate to have friends because of my passion for hot air ballooning. Fortunate to have friends from all over the world. So we have all different times. Some of them are even on tomorrow. And through this, they can watch the replay. They can just, take a taste of the replay. They don't have to watch the whole thing, but they can join you. And I have a situation now to where, I'm sorry, I'm being interrupted by a phone call, and that's because my husband did not remember that I go live every day at 9 o'clock. And so I am going to just let me hold for a minute. There he goes. He hung up. Yeah. Sorry about that again. So let me come into what I'll do is I'll just pause for one quick second, actually, and drop him a note because I see nobody's watching, and give you time to catch up if you plan to join me. If you don't, that's okay too. I am here. Just had to let my husband know that not to disturb me for a minute. And that's one of the things you have to do when you go live is make sure that your family members are aware of it. Now, as as they get on in life, they have a tendency to forget, and you have to remind them once in a while. So what I'm going to do now is share my groups seen from Facebook. Hold on just a minute. And what we're concerned about this morning are the public groups. And every once in a while, I apologize in advance, but we are going to see that you have notifications come up. You can see at the moment on the screen, I believe, I'll check in there. It doesn't cover it because of my frame. It doesn't cover it completely. And I'll tell you, let me top here. I'll just be on audio. And nope, it's not enough. It didn't bring it over enough. But it does show the notifications. Okay. So, and these are all the public groups I belong to, but you can see right at the very top that I've joined 224 groups. I have a public group I joined that last night I found out that I've got a post and a comment from March the 14th waiting in there to be approved. And if I remember, it might be this Everything New Mexico group. Let me check there and see, because it was one that I recently joined. And these are public groups. Now, this is one of the things you have to bear in mind when, yes, it says pending admin approval, one post and one comment. And let's learn more. It gives what it says this review is for group safety, and so admins can get to know participants. You can create up to 5 posts and comments while the admin review is pending. So I could add more comments and posts there. And it says, we'll let you know when admins complete their review and your content is published in the group. So what happens here, as you can see, these are things being posted in the group. This is an automated post that group has every day. And it was only an hour ago. So you can't say, well, the admin can see my group. That's automated, so they may or may not be there. There are other posts that are dropping to that group, and they may be members who are pre-approved to actually post in those groups. That we don't know. But one of the first things in joining a group, and this is what I did before I joined, I actually looked to see what their rules are before posting and before joining and before posting. It says this group is for all wanting to share photos, suggest travel location, local businesses, and general topics about New Mexico. There will be no political topics discussed in this group. Such posts will be removed and you'll be banned. There will be no spam posts and no inappropriate posts. All posts will be monitored by the admin and removed if deemed inappropriate. Keep all discussions polite and civil. And this group was created on February the 26th, 2020, and it's based in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And they're saying New Mexico in general and Mesilla, New Mexico. Then you can click the People tab to see who the admins of the group are and yourself. I, of course, am listed on top. And when I click on my profile, it's supposed to go directly to my group profile. So we'll check on that. So this group is really based in Las Cruces, we say here, okay? And of course, I have 0 points in that group because I haven't posted anything, but we know I have a post waiting to be seen. So the other thing we want to do is check the group rules. And there's a couple of ways of getting to that. And I'm going to check back here. Yeah, here it's included directly on the public group. And there have been 10 rules set and no political posts at any time. Well, I believe that political posts are absolutely should not be allowed in any groups but political groups. And those groups should be private. And they say here, no gray area on this rule. Yay. I'm absolutely all for that. To be kind and courteous. And you know that if you have followed me for any length of time, that's my mantra. So no hate speech or bullying, to respect everyone's privacy. Now, there is no privacy in a public group. You've got to understand that. And you say, and this is where a lot of public groups don't get this. What's shared in the group must stay in the group. Well, if it's public, it's shared publicly. That's what the word public means. Promote. If you have a New Mexico business you would like us to know about, great, share it with us. However, spamming members is strictly forbidden. So promote in moderation, violators will be banned. Now, I'm not planning to stay in this group for the simple reason that it has taken this long to actually review my post and decline or approve. And it says that, all of us have this one, that you must read and agree to all rules in order to be approved. And 10, they don't want any garage or yard sale. Well, let's go back to, I have one pending. Well, you can actually see this manage content when you've actually posted in a group. Here is what I've got waiting. This one was back from March 14th, and I said, happy birthday to American singer-songwriter Michael Martin Murphey, author of New Mexico state ballad, The Land of Enchantment. Have you seen him perform in person? Okay. So that's my second one. That was not, and here's my first one. And this is 3 weeks ago. Are you kidding? You're kidding. Pending. So there's 2. And it says, okay, this was my commentary to the welcome post. And I said, thank you for the warm welcome. I found this community through Facebook group promotions, browsed quality content, and noticed 14 of my friends were also members and decided to join. So there you have it. There is absolutely no reason that my post shouldn't have been approved in this length of time. Now, groups can continue to carry on through the automated posts, but if you don't take care of your group and deal with your activity every day, it shows. So I'm going to leave the group at this point in time because look how many I belong to. So I don't need that. And it's that easy. So you're out of there. I have because I have interest in Central Oregon and property up there and so forth. I just joined this one recently because I have some of the things that are at my home and at my home there and at the warehouse space there. This is a buy sell group. It doesn't say that until I actually sign into the group, but I just joined it very short time ago, and in this group I can list something for sale and I can discuss things that are for sale. And when I consider a public group, I always check out the media, making sure that whatever's in being discussed in there, that it's coming up, that it might be something that I actually am interested in listing myself or actually purchasing. So that clearly includes, what I'm after there. I have not posted there, but it is a very active group. And the 3 dots in that group, we're going to check it. So I can manage the notifications, report it and leave it, and look at my content in there or share that with you. But that one is one I'm definitely still very much interested in. This one is photos and a buy sell group for photos. And I believe that was also based in New Mexico. So we'll just check it real quick. There's a public group. There's probably a lot of my ballooning friends in here. Again, the media, I checked that real quick. See if there's, because clearly some are photos, but you want to check to make sure there's not spam dropping in the group. And look here, these, I got to tell you, you are not going to find these in New Mexico. So it is not a New Mexico group. It's just for photos. And I'm sure that came up. I will look, go down to the discussion. I will click on my profile for that group. And you can see I have not contributed anything. And it was one that probably was introduced to me through the Facebook groups promotion back in February. Now, because I'm live on Facebook right now, you can see when you go live on Facebook, your profile image is actually highlighted and showing everyone that you're live. And what I do is I actually record that live by taking a screenshot of it. And that's what you're seeing. Hopefully it translates to video. You'd see that on my screen right now. But this only available from your laptop or desktop. You can change your cover image separately for every group that you're in. And I typically do. I have not in this one yet, and it is a public group, but that is something you can do for folks who are reaching, their destinations by laptop or desktop. But it used to, but another broken thing on Facebook, it does not share or rarely does it share this special cover that you've created for that group. Okay, so we'll get back to our groups. Now I'm going to stay in that group for a while because of the topic being covered. This one I'm not going to preview. I've only been there for, and you can see I last visited 4 weeks ago. The notifications aren't coming up. Let's see here in the notifications what I have that on. And I say highlights, friends post, and suggested posts. Now, one of the things, it says push notifications. That's what should be coming up on Facebook. I have it marked as highlights. And then member request notifications when my friends join the group is what I have that set on. It's funny, I thought I had, this one does not, it must not use at everyone, but you have an option to actually stop that as well. And I know I have a public group, and I am going, if it doesn't come up right at the top, I will show that to you in a minute, because it's one that Facebook asked me to take over for the Redmond, Oregon area, and it's actually an event group. And I don't mind showing you in all of those, but so these are newer ones. These are all public ones I've joined recently. And because I am still a New Mexico small business, let's say this one I have, here's a post here that is approving. This must be from this morning, though. I'm almost positive. I'll check to see which of my friends is behind this group. And no, I must have joined this one just recently. So let me click on my profile and check that. And that one I joined in January. And you can see when you click on your profile, you can see this one I've actually had recent activity all in commentary. So these I just did reactions, but you can see what I've done there. And I have not created any posts. I need to take a screenshot of that one because I definitely need to make sure that I go in and place a comment to that post. So because I am streaming live, I'm going to get a transcript from what I have actually covered here today. And I'm using the StreamYard application, by the way. And so I will make note of this group, the New Mexico Small Businesses Public Group, and AI. And this is something else you want to notice, that AI is enabled in this group. And that I do have a post. Let's see what I've got in there this morning. Yep. This morning I got up thinking about all of the domains I own. And I do belong to a public domain names group. And what really, that triggered me thinking about the domains and why I joined that group. I do have, a substantial amount of inventory. I've created a Facebook album to feature the domains that I have in my inventory. And I dropped the ball on that early this year. I think I started it in January, and I haven't added a lot to it. So recently I have been adding those domains to my profile cover. And this morning I had the wild ideas like, do these people really understand the difference, especially in the domain names group, because it is a public group, but the commentary that they've been putting in there, I think they're all domain investors. And it's like, why do you get a domain in the first place? And it's to establish your location on the internet so folks can, it can be a personal blog. It can be just, and what you share, of course, is up to you. And that is how I started mine. I have barbT.com as all my personal stuff. But, what separates the domain names in value? And it's not just the word, the domain extension. Originally, we just had the .com and the .org and .net and .edu. And actually, edu, I think, was first, if I'm not mistaken. But when it was open to commercial business is when I got excited. The .com level is when I got excited about it. Now, I still have, I'm still close to 100 domains in my inventory, and all of those were acquired for company projects, client projects for my company or for my own personal interest. And so I've had them, for more than a decade now, more than 2 decades now. But there's a time in life where you've got to, it's, hey, I'm not going to live forever, and somebody else can get the value of it. So I was very interested in sharing my story as well as finding out, the appropriate value to place on domain names these days. So in this, back to where I am in this particular one, I am a New Mexico business. I'm located in New Mexico. So I wanted to post this to stimulate conversation on the domain issue. Now, I posted this in more than one group, all of which are not public, some of which I actually manage. And I didn't post exactly the same. I changed some of the copy in here briefly, but let's see, because it is still holding. It was dropped in a lot of groups, and I have managed my post. Let me see when, so that was 4 hours ago. And let's look at the about section on this one. Did we do that already? I don't think we did, because they've had, 8 new posts today, 895 in the last month. So, and 57 new members last week. Now, that is really not on the high side, but what we're going through with Facebook right now, it's really tough. And so this one was actually set up in February of 2021. Okay. And we check the media out in here and see what we've got. Yummy food, that's for sure. Oh my gosh, it has been forever since I've had those ribbon fries, and that's a total sin, but it looks good, doesn't it? So I check out the media, heavy on the food here. Ooh, who knows where that's at? And you can check this. You can put this domain in your browser at any point and check I check the media first. Now, here's something for me. I'm going to click on this because this is ballooning, needless to say. And it's, in promoting this particular one is a signed and numbered limited edition print for $400. So interesting enough. So a lot of my art, because I have ballooning art, could go in here. Yeah, see that. Here we have, things from the home, so forth. So it's pretty general. And I'm going to have to click on the some of these images are making me hungry. Bad things for me. I cannot sense cancer. I've learned that that beef is not my greatest friend. I have to be very, very restrictive on the amount of beef I eat, and particularly this kind of things, which, that's like maybe once a month kind of thing. And my favorite, of course, is the green chili cheeseburger. If you've ever been to Oregon, you know what the Hatch green chilies are all about and why everybody loves them so much. Then this is my friend's acting, film, so forth and so on. Been in that group that's public. We don't really have to check in there. I'm not going to give that one up. And here's a school. It is the only school community that came up on my radar, and it's a public group. I've only got 7 friends in there, and it's got 17.9 thousand members. And I thought, school community, in case you aren't aware, is an alternative actually to Facebook. In fact, I'm going to check in the studio now. You'll see it running, a banner running at the bottom of my stream that says to join me on school. And this is my personal domain and the word school after it. And that is in place of using a URL shortener such as bit.ly or Genius Link. And that way I have control over every time somebody clicks on that link. And believe it or not, it's been a lot. But I don't have that many folks in my community over there. They're all, friends, people who have caught me on the live streams and so forth. So let's go back here. I'm going to go down Albuquerque business loans. Well, I am based in Albuquerque. So that's another public group. Now, some of these friends are even, some of the admins and creators of these groups are, more than just general occasional friends. I've known them for a long time. This one, this Becky is a new friend. She's a realtor, and she has one for real estate, and she has one for events, and she has one for Albuquerque business owners. Smooth move on her part in doing this, because she's got, prospects for purchasing and selling in there. And she set it up as discussion, buy and sell in there, and pretty much can do anything in there. I notice I don't have any pending one. Let me see if I even put my domain post in there. Nope. What I did is I actually called her in her office and basically said, how can I help? Because I know I'm going to be spending my final years here, and if there's any way I can do that. And I told her that, one thing about this live streaming option is that you can do this for others and help them promote local businesses and initiatives that are going on in the world. And she's a super gal in talking to her, but you can see all kinds of media from here, and we'll go to check that I think that I'll check the media. I want to check other people. So you can see from homes are obviously for sale, and just general vehicles and so forth moving through there. But you make that use, and jewelry. I don't know that I would personally sell jewelry on one of these platforms, because that could really, I can see some security issues on that. But whatever, for each his own, and events themselves, destinations that you're going to, and so forth. So that's before you actually join a public group. That's one thing that I always check. I do check the people. I want to know who's managing the group and for how long. Again, this is the Albuquerque Business Owners Group. I won't be leaving it anytime soon, because I think I can make decent contributions over the next few years. So again, it's Friday. I am streaming live to my profile on Facebook, my business page, and let's see. I see a my Balloon Talk live page, my Barbie live page, and my ballooning art page, and my Artsy Pixels page, and my ballooning news page, and to YouTube. With this application, I can stream to 8 different destinations simultaneously. So back to our groups now. And I have, now this is Albuquerque events. I think there's more than one of these with that name. But these are all public and Historic Route 66 is one I really appreciate. I get notifications from it every day. And as you know, we're celebrating the centennial this year. It's got over 400. They just actually crossed the 400,000 mark. And I'm getting close to having 50 friends of mine in there. And I think the majority of them are from ballooning. And see what else. I don't know. I I've used Photoshop, Adobe products since the 80s, I think it is. And when Affinity came along, I was actually offered like a lifetime license for it, and then it was bought out by Canva. And so I do have a Canva Pro account, and so this particular group became very important to me. And it says you last visited a day ago, so I'm typically going there. And then this is one of the most recent. Somebody asked me, a friend of mine asked me to join this print on demand training, and it's actually, majority of that is conducted by someone else that we know really well. and I haven't, it's been a week since I've been there. I don't see anything really quickly that I want to get out of. The Ecamm Live community, I actually own this is for another live streaming application product, a popular one with Apple computer users. And I have a MacBook Pro that's loaded for live streaming, but I'm seeing my husband, the little icon for my husband is right here. These are a lot of live streaming friends that came up on here. Very popular application, and I have yet to personally use it, but I'm in there primarily in helping him. This domain names one, though, is it going to help me? I'm in that now. Look at that. There's closing in on 50,000 members, but I'm trying to get it figured out because I don't know if it's the right group for me, because it appears to be more domain investors than anything else. But this morning, like I said, I had all these notifications from it, and it'll say manage notifications, right? Let's look from the laptop is what I've got. Highlights, friends, posts, and suggested posts. So it's got to be the suggested posts. I don't know that I have a lot of friends in there. And then it says the highlights and the member request notifications. So I have those on. It doesn't say anything about the at everyone tag. That is got me perplexed this morning. I wonder if they I mean, a lot of people were very paranoid about that one, and they didn't want to have it in their groups. But for me, I felt that with what Facebook was doing on the platform, and not, you can see in the corner, or if you can't, I'll tell you. Yeah, I looked in StreamYard right now. Let me just take that off so that you can see. There it is. See it up in the corner? I've only got 5 notifications live at the moment. So it's like I'm looking, normally I would have at any hour of the day at least 12 notifications because of all the groups I belong to, because of the groups I manage, and because of the number of friends I have, things that I post on my profile. So more Albuquerque related, and going there, I'm going to go back and check, because this application I am using is lets me know when anybody comments. There is no one that has commented today. If you have stopped by, I would appreciate knowing that you did, of course. And if you have something to say, let me know. So, hot air balloon cards and pins for trade and sale. There's only 234 members of that group. Only 234 friends. I have over 1,000 of my friends are ballooning friends, and there's a total of 1,500 members in there. I have a hunch, if I visit this group, that it's not as active. And let me check my profile in here. And I've been in there since March 22nd, 2025. And I have literally not posted anything in that group, given that I have all these balloon cards, balloon pins, and all of that. I should be posting there. But how are we getting, the information? This group was created in 2015 on August the 20th. And they added the buy sell feature in 2022. And so let me go in. I've covered about. Here's where the activity is really important, because there's only been 6 posts in this group in the last month. While it's been created 10 years ago, it's actually gaining friends. And here, this is very simple. You give more than you take, self-promotion spam, and irrelevant links aren't allowed. If it's not hot air balloon related, it's not welcome here. And if you come in the group and start posting spam about other items besides what's relevant to the group, your post will be removed and may follow with being removed from this group. This is your only warning. So very simple. But it's whether the discussions that's going on, you can see here that it's not happening a lot. So that might have to be one I reconsider. And it's sad, but I'm seeing you've got to see the activity. Then now this one, I think I recently joined that. I have 2 friends in that group, and it was a friend of mine actually set that up. Is that really? Yeah, it's private. So maybe that's the end of my public. Let me go there. Public. Public. Got that. And see, that's been 3 weeks ago now. So I have all that to look for. Yep. So these things about private groups get pretty scary at times for me. I have one, and I think I don't see it coming up. I've already posted in there once this morning for the event activities in the Central Oregon area, primarily focused on Redmond, Oregon. And yeah, I'm not seeing it come up. So that's private. There's public. So now it's mixed. Oh, you can go over to shame on me because I remember something. Let me see if it comes. I don't see the public from my feed, your groups, create a group, groups you manage, but I don't see groups I've joined. And I don't see the little there is an option to filter from public to private. Let me see if I put that there. Will it show private or public? No, it doesn't show that. So that is something. Let me see. Okay, let's check here. Show notification dots, customize notifications, membership, leave groups that no longer interest you, you're following it, but it doesn't show the icon to where I can just filter by public groups. I know it's there. I've used it before, but that's not happening today. And you can see that here we have a public group and private. So let me see that's public. A Facebook group. I actually joined that particular Netflix group because it's managed by a friend of mine. I've actually got a private group that I'm in more regularly. Wow. Not seeing this should be, no, that's private group. Private. And for all of those that they do have, and this is my friend Andrew's group, AI art and digital art. And he is, he actually has a formal relationship with Adobe. And look at that. He's got almost 90,000 members in that group. He's based in California. He is a digital artist. He's been there and done that as well. He's also got a fantastic community on LinkedIn. I don't see my own group coming in, and I miss having the filters. I didn't do something. Let me see if I go back on the group's feed, if it will give me, this is public, so I'm not sharing anything that is not public there, and it's not giving me the option to filter. So on that note, I think what I'll do, since I'm just really bent on keeping my goal to stream live each day intact, I think what I'll do, because I have a lot of work to get done actually, is go back to those public groups and start filtering out what I'm in, what I need to be in, and get that cleaned up. But I got to tell you that most of the time when I'm on this platform, I'm actually participating in the communities on the platform, which those are the groups on this one on Meta. And yeah, I see. And then this is the regular group feed. Let me see if you can see that. And no, you can't. It's a little bit out of range there. I'm going to take me off the screen just to see if it's possible. Do you get to see the whole thing? No, you don't. Okay, so we'll just take that off right now. I'm going to be cutting the feed shortly, and I'll bring back the media assets so that when the thumbnail comes up, hopefully it will be this screen versus what we were doing inside the live. I want to thank you for tuning in, actually pressing the button to watch, even if it was only momentarily. You know what I'm up to, and I've reported in. So I'm wishing all of you a great weekend, of course. And here in Albuquerque, we are expecting high winds. We were expecting them earlier today. And I actually asked ChatGPT, to give me a complete lineup for our weather. And Google wanted to interrupt because I was using the Chrome browser at the time. And basically, it went from 60 degrees that they were expecting to, 60 miles per hour to 40 miles per hour. So maybe it might be all wrong indeed. And that's the thing about New Mexico. You just never know. This state, the weather can be extremely warm one day and extremely cold the next. So, but it's a great place to live. Lived here most of my life, and I am probably going to be here to my last days because of that. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Try to be here at 9 as I was today. And I'll see you inside the platform, either in the groups that we share or on my profile. Thanks again.